Random moment time study is required through our federal guidelines as part of our SHARS Medicaid process. Through our random moment time study process, our percentage rates are determined. Participants in the random moment time study are randomly chosen. The following training details information about SHARS and Medicaid billing and how to complete the random moment. In completing your random moment, you will need to answer the following 3 questions. Who was with you? What were you doing? And why were you performing the activity? Medicaid billable services include services that are medically necessary for students to attend schools. We will go over those later in this training. We must understand that educational services, such as those listed above, are not allowable billable services. Instructional related services and supports are not Medicaid billable services. Direct medical services include those services listed on this slide. Most of you engage in supporting personal care services as noted above. These services must be outlined in the student's personal care supplement, indicating that the student requires human intervention to accomplish the task at hand. Please know that personal care is a direct medical service that must be outlined in the student's IEP. When you respond to your random moment questions, please know that you are only responding to that 1 minute that is designated to your random moment. Do not list multiple activities or list items on your job description. Your response should always include the specific intervention you are engaging with the student. For example, queuing for that specific ADL that is being provided. If the why states to provide direct medical services as defined on the student's IEP, then the what you are doing should clearly define the personal care service provided. In situations where lesson planning is being done, please indicate the specific student audience and if it's IEP related. Here are some examples of personal care services and who may be tasked to provide those services. Remember that personal care services include assistance by a provider to students to accomplish ADLs or IADLs, which are activities of daily living or instrumental activities of daily living. This list is not exhaustive, but outlines some examples of personal care services. Many of our personal care services are provided in our life skills or self-contained classrooms due to the nature of the student's disability and the need for their support. This slide indicates the difference between monitoring for medical need versus monitoring for educational need. Monitoring is directly tied back to the student's personal care services or ADLs or IADLs. This is an example of a moment that was submitted that we cannot accept due to listing multiple activities during that 1 minute for the random moment. This moment is not acceptable as it does not mention the personal care service that was provided during that 1 minute of random moment time study. This moment is acceptable as it only mentions one specific task and the specific services that was provided during that 1 minute that was randomly chosen. You will receive an email from Lisa Coleman or Rebecca Faulkner detailing your minute, date, and time and your username and password. The link to the Fairbanks system will be on this email. You will need to enter your information for your moment to be able to certify your moment. This is what the login screen looks like. You will enter your login information, and the program includes instructions for your convenience. You may also reach out to Lisa Coleman for support. You will enter in the system who was with you, what you were doing, and why you were doing it. Each question will have a drop-down for you to choose from. Here's a list of drop-down answers for who was with you. Here are additional drop-downs for who was with you. These are staff specific. When providing personal care services, the what is more about why the student needs the support rather than what is going on in class. Describe exactly what took place only in the 60 seconds of the moment. Do not list multiple activities. For the why, you will need to read carefully and determine the best answer based on the student's IEP. The next several slides show possible drop-downs for the why. Here are some additional responses for why. You will need to determine per IEP or without IEP. Some additional responses that are specific to ADLs and IADLs. These are continued from the previous slide. And here are some additional responses. This slide also indicates drop-downs for the why. And finally, if you are not working during your moment, you will need to indicate paid or unpaid time off. If you have any questions for this, please reach out to Lisa at the Special Education Office.